This is your boy Fat Man DD1. All right, you already know by this title that I'm gonna go a little bit in, and let me just be real with you. Let me explain this to you. Let me tell you this: video games are an open medium. They can be judged like movies. They can be judged like any piece of art because they are art themselves. Nothing is perfect unless the story you feel is perfect. But there can always be changes, adjustments, stuff that's just incredible. Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4 has taught me one thing. If you can add a costume onto an original character, and then when he goes into story mode, the costume stays on and everything moves perfectly, you've been doing something wrong your entire game. Neil Druckmann is someone that I don't care for. And just knowing about these leaks, I don't give a rat's ass for. So we're about to just move into this. We're about to analyze everything about Neil Druckmann. And this, you probably haven't seen this go around. He talks about a lot of shit in his game, his beginning games not being so strong and not basically being feminists. Like, he's made toxic games. I honestly think he hasn't, but let's dissect these. Let's go in. Let's get it. Here we go on this. If you're with me, you're fucking with me.
And we kind of explored for a while. And we got kind of excited about the idea of making a game around all those concepts together. But then, for some reason, I decided to change it quite a bit. And I'm not sure why. Maybe because now it's a game, it had to be more gamey. And the first project we started kind of,
interactive?
Moving forward on was called Mankind. And the idea is very similar to what you've seen in The Last of Us, that the cordyceps has jumped from insects to people. And the people it infects, it can kind of create monsters or kill them. But the twist, the thing that was different about this idea was that it only infected women. And you found the one girl that it didn't infect, and that was Ellie.
It's kind of cool.
And you kind of protected her and tried to bring her to this lab where they were kind of finding a cure. And there were a lot of things that we were really excited about this idea, but ultimately it failed. And the reason it failed is because it was a misogynistic idea. And it's hard for me to say, and I'm kind of airing some dirty laundry here, but I'm really proud that at Naughty Dog we have this really flat structure where people can speak up. If they don't like ideas, or the story isn't working, or gameplay isn't working, someone can say something. And a lot of the female workers at Naughty Dog came up and said, I don't like this idea. I understand what you're trying to do, that it is ultimately a story about the love of a girl, but the way it's coming off is you have a bunch of women turning into monsters, and you're shooting them in the face.
That's not a bad idea, though. You could have made that into a different series.
So I had a lot of attachments to the idea, and I refused to kind of let it go, but eventually I did have this kind of awakening, and I realized that was not good. So that got scrapped.
What I understand from this, for me, being who I am, you basically had an idea for a game. Let's cut this for a second. Your game was not misogynistic, bro. It wasn't planned thoroughly. In video games, there is always a second idea. Always another time to plan thoroughly. Planning ahead, creating a story. If the cordyceps is affecting women only, mutation can happen that it starts to affect men too. You could have the first beginning part of the stage, maybe year one of the game. The cordyceps starts affecting women. Year 2, it spreads to men. Oh my God, he's created the greatest thing ever. How does it affect men? A doctor tries to mutate and fix it and tries to cure it, and then it mutates it worse to affect men, and then it spreads throughout the facility. Boy, you smart. Or I just made your game 10 times better. But the females at Naughty Dog was like, nah, this is crazy, this is too much, you're bugging. What? You're supposed to be encouraged. He's like, I get where you're coming from, but with this one girl and you're shooting chicks in the head. I'm like, so what? Your idea wasn't it wasn't bad or misogynistic. It just needed some fine tuning, which in The Last of Us we get some more fine tuning. He goes on to state in this entire female rant what is misogynistic in video games and what is, and he starts to show us. He explains something about him being at Comic-Con with his daughter. But he explains it better. So let's move forward to that. Let's get it. Let's do this. Let's move into The ultimate friendly zone.
So I want to talk about my interpretation of that ending. But again, I have to go off on a tangent. The thing with that ending is it kind of misses Ellie's arc.
So he's talking about the ending of Last
So
of Us.
this is me with my daughter at Comic-Con this year. And the thing with Comic-Con is it's kind of like this magical thing where you have comic books and toys and TV shows, and it kind of is a reminder of why I became a game designer, why I joined video games.
All right.
And as my daughter gets older and kind of becomes her own little person, I get to see more and more of the world through her eyes. And I wonder what are going to be her inspirations. What are the things that she's going to be kind of really attracted to and attached to?
If some of you don't know, this is where he got his inspiration from The Last of Us off of. He wanted it to be the style of Ego, Sin City, and Night of the Living Dead. I respect that. You took inspiration from these games, from these titles. One game, one movie, also slash book, and also a movie. You took inspiration heavily, so I respect that. But now, these being your inspiration for The Last of Us, what's this have to do with your daughter? Like, what are her inspirations growing up, and what is she gonna like? I feel that you'll never know that, because if you're around long enough to see what she grows up to love and view, she starts to understand it differently. And remember, kids start to develop more quicker and faster when they start learning things that are acceptable and not acceptable. But they start understanding what is acceptable from being a non-acceptable point of view, not you pointing it out to them, what is this and what isn't, because they start to question you, especially when they get to like teenagers and rebellion phases. Long story short, let's move in. Let's keep going.
And as a game creator, I look around at kind of what we are making and what are going to be her role models from the stories, and I don't like what I see.
See, in video games, you can't tell people to do diddly shit. Now, why I'm mad at this is he's saying, oh, these are our role models in video games. No, these are video game characters. Chicks do cosplay these characters. Chicks cosplay these characters. Yes, they do. They're fun characters. They're sexy characters. Nothing stops them from being sexy. Cortana especially, which is a hologram, but she has boobs, but who gives a rat's ass? No one cares. And you have a character from the Ninja Gaiden series, which you haven't seen Ninja Gaiden female characters. They're all badass, they're all sexy, and they're all just cool. So, and then you have somebody from Metal Gear Solid 5, this female sniper, who obviously is wearing this cut up, fucked up clothing, which I didn't play Metal Gear Solid 5. And she's the only thing that comes out of that as worthy and as like incredible, because she's a badass sniper or a badass gunman that can't be stopped, so she can wear whatever she wants. Most of these characters here are what I say is sexy, powerful, and they wear what they wear because they can't be touched. You can't physically hurt Cortana unless you were a virus. This is a ninja assassin. If you can't get that better than Ryu in the game, then you can't touch her. She's killing you. This chick's like a badass weapons expert, so she can wear whatever the fuck she wants to wear, because you think if you're going to touch her, bam, you're dead. Like, these are still badass characters, regardless of how you feel. They're not meant to be role models. A role model is a person. These are characters that you idolize and look up to. No, you look up to these characters like, yo, they were awesome, beautiful, kick-ass characters. I want to cosplay them. That's it. People look at characters once, twice, and they just do something crazy with it. That's basically it, Joe. That's basically it. And you can say whatever you want. If your daughter looks up to these characters, that's your problem as a father. It's not really taking it to the hinge, like, hey, they're not real. But if your daughter likes these characters, like, hey, Dad, you ever seen a Ninja Gaiden? These characters are badass and crazy cool, and it's the hardest game in the world. And your dad's gonna be like, well, yeah, but most of those girls are super misogynistic and really over sexy. And your daughter's gonna be like, you're such a prude, Dad. Like, come on, bro. Like, for real. Cortana's a hologram. She can look whatever she wants to look like. And plus, 2 of these characters are from Japan. The other one's America. You can't tell nobody nothing. You can't. Well, Japanese character, American character. No one cares. You can't tell Japan nothing. Japan don't give a fuck about what you think. They don't care. Oh, that's misogynistic. Oh, we're gonna draw her with bigger titties. Let's see how you feel about that, motherfucker. Take that misogynistic shit out of here. Like, for real. Like, you need to start like brushing up on something. And this is one American character. You can speak for Cortana, but people would just be like, she's a hologram and no one cares. Like, you're pathetic. This is your stance on what? Nothing.
More specifically, I'm talking about our female characters. And whether we want to admit it or not, these are role models.
They're not.
And yet we
These are gaming
sexualize, we
characters.
objectify, we marginalize, and we reduce these female characters to a lot less than they can be.
You're an idiot.
And this is coming from a guy that almost made a really misogynistic game.
It wasn't.
So I kind of know what I'm talking
It wasn't.
about. So once this thing failed and I had this awakening, almost exactly at the same time, this Kickstarter happened about the tropes versus women in video games.
I don't know who this
And while
guy
you might
is.
argue with the way it delivers its message or whether every point is exact, you can't argue with just the pattern that you see in the industry. So I was really intrigued by this. The videos for the video games hadn't come out yet, but I watched the rest of Anita's videos, and I realized it's not just a problem in games, it's actually throughout entertainment.
What?
So I wanted to learn more about it on my own, so I started reading some of these books.
Stop here. So these are the two books that got him interested in it, right? Cinderella Ain't My Daughter. Ain't My Daughter. That's hilarious. Created by Peggy Orton, right? And Schoolgirls, created by Peggy Orton. What? You read the same book created by the same person? So I'm guessing you read this one first, right? I don't know how long it gets you to make books. So let's say 2 to 3 years, right? She came out with another book, or 2 years, she came out with this book. Or she was writing both of them back to back. But why would your one perspective be from this side and another perspective from this side? It's the same author of the same book. What did she learn in her life to give her the inspiration to create these books? Peggy, I'm guessing, is a woman. And this is kind of her point of view on everything. This ain't Peggy Hill from Hanging Hill. This is someone else with a different point of view on something. But there's the same book talking about what? Femininity? Feminine frequency? I'm not sure. But I can guess that you learned one thing and kept this in your head, but you thought you learned something different from this. Or this spoke the same thing from Schoolgirls. Cinderella was kind of more of a harsh story. Like, the girl was basically her whole family's gone, and she has her aunt, and the bitch is abusive, and the daughters are abusive. They're just assholes. And then she finds somebody else, and she leaves them shitheads because, well, it's way better than them. Who cares how the story is? Oh, she hardly knows the prince. How the fuck is she gonna marry him because of a slipper? It's like, it's a fairy tale story. Why do you care? Dissecting it doesn't make sense. Schoolgirls, how girls with developing minds grow up and see everything and want to imitate them. I'm looking at the internet right now and seeing how music is really influencing kids to do stupid dances and do stupid things or have fun. And I'm realizing how OnlyFans is really taking girls out there and they're just creepily killing it. But I don't know if you're going to learn anything different from both of these books. But one has daughter, one has schoolgirl. You'll probably learn the same thing, just with different topics and situations on them, or depending on how the writer is breaking it down. But I would have picked a different book, not by the same title, so you can get a different perspective. The same book doesn't mean a different perspective. It means the same perspective, just trying to look in the outer rims of your window and saying, well, that's something I didn't know. Maybe I can put that in my book. Get a different book from a different author that has a way different perspective than the author of the last one, because you can expand on it. When I write a book, I'm going to write a book about basically what I've learned in my last one and kind of take bits of that and throw it in the next one and just kind of drain it out through everything else I've learned. You know, that's why it's used difference in books. I don't know if this has really helped, Neil. Like, what are you doing, bro? Let's continue.
And you see that popular culture has quite a significant effect. And we, as human beings, we mimic the things that we really like and love. And it affects how we feel about ourselves, our self-esteem, how girls feel about themselves, and how us as guys kind of view girls. These things teach us these elements. So while working on The Last of Us, I had this secret agenda that's becoming less and less secret the more I talk about this stuff. I wanted to create one of the coolest non-sexualized female video game protagonists. And I felt like with The Last of Us, if we did that, there's an opportunity here to change the industry. And I know that sounds pretentious, but that was my goal. So, Ellie's arc.
We're done here. We are done here. Let's move into it. Neil may have tried so hard to make his character so unattractive, but the internet seems to find a way. And this is like weird, but the internet does. No matter what you do, Neil, the internet finds a fucking way to take what you've created and make it theirs. Because that's what they feel like. Oh, this character's nice, cool, cute. I want to do some damage to it. And that's what they do. They do damage to it. You've said it yourself. You have a secret that you've been trying to change these characters and make them less feminine. The fuck is your problem? Listen, I've already stated this a long time ago. If a character is sexy yet powerful, there's not a problem with that. Sexy and powerful make incredible gaming characters. They've created spectacular comic book characters. Captain Marvel was once a sexy, powerful character. People have a problem with that to this day. She looks like a dude. She looks like a dude. I don't know why she looks like a dude. I don't know what's up with that, but she does. That's a problem here. They made Captain Marvel garbage. Kamala Khan does not have a single bit of sex appeal, but people like the character because she's new, brand new character. She sold a lot of first covers. You know, the ones who used to put like her right here covering the mouth like they were the character. Yeah, incredible. She-Hulk had a lot of sex appeal in the comics. She-Hulk had a lot of sex appeal in the comics. Was that a problem? No. To some people, yes, she was over-sexualized. That's kind of what they sold her on. But She-Hulk as a character never cared about it. She didn't care about who she slept with. She didn't care about what it was. But she even made comebacks to this in comic books. How do you know it's She-Hulk? How do you know it's me? She even strips down and says, now you're gonna want me to jump rope in a you know what I'm saying? That, like, she made fun of stuff like that. A character who was flamboyant, didn't care who she slept with, knew that she was a gamma radiated, big, tall, sexy model, and didn't have a problem with it. And then Marvel turned her into this. Everyone's been doing what you've been doing, Neil, but they've been doing it at failure. No one cares about the new She-Hulk comic. No one cares about new She-Hulk. No one cares about Captain Marvel. I don't care about Captain Marvel. I don't care about She-Hulk. You want to know why? Because I care about the old versions of them. The internet finds a way to do what it does. Take characters and put them back where they belong. People were mad at these. But then people kind of accepted them and say, well, yeah, that's the norm. But at the same time, sexy and powerful make a character. You made your character so unattractive that no one wants to... People cosplay her, but that's not the thing, though. The cosplay does not matter. Her cosplays are okay. They're generic. They're simple. They're easy to do, but no one cares. And that's just how it is. I've seen a lot of people cosplay Joel and Ellie at conventions. That's probably it. Did I ever take pictures of them? Probably not. But when it comes to Kratos and Atreus, that's amazing. What are you talking about? Like, you need something to stand out and be awesome. Is Kratos sexualized? Yes, Daddy Kratos. He's sexualized. People love that guy. But is there a problem with that? No, there hasn't been. Because people sexualize male characters more than they do female characters. Your games weren't a byproduct of being misogynistic. No, they were a byproduct of not having things really thought out well. Gaming is a product, just like anything else. You have to think out your product narratively. Where is the narrative going? How is the narrative being displayed? Where would the narrative breach off? Neil has a bad record, like a bad track record, of just rehashing the same things he's already done. Before I played you these videos, I watched this whole thing through. It was boring as shit, I'm be honest with you. His main thing is the male character protects the female character and the male character dies. He's done that twice. In The Last of Us 2, he's done it again. He's killed off Joel. He's killed Joel. He's done it. In this, he has a problem rehashing that. Because he's created a female character, and now he's gone back to his roots as like, alright, now I'm going to kill the male character. What is wrong with you? Why are you rehashing it? Why are you repeating the same story beats? Don't do that. I see you, Neil. I see you. You're not slick. You're stupid. He talked about his game being misogynistic, but it always ended with the male dying. No one at Naughty Dog told this man, hey, bro, I think that's bad. But the one thing you were able to say was this.
was about the love between these two characters and how we build that through story, music, interaction, gameplay, mechanics. This story is the counter of that. The story is about hate and how we use all those same things to make the player feel that.
I don't want to play a game about hate. I don't. I want to play a game about two people still trying to survive with a group of other people. Zombies getting worse. Mutations getting crazy. Come on, bro. Think about it for a second. Think about it for a second. Do you really think I want to play a game about hate? No. Ninja Gaiden is about fucking ninjas. Awesome ninjas. The hardest. Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 are a number of the hardest games in gaming. Right next to Dark Souls. But still the hardest games in gaming. You could play them, but they're still the hardest games in gaming. Come on, bro. Last of Us 1 was fun, was incredible. We got to experience good stories with good, incredible characters. That's not a problem. My problem with you, Neil, look at me, Neil. My problem with you is that you don't understand what you're doing. You're rehashing the same story narrative and the same story beats. You're doing the same thing over again. You haven't really learned anything. You say you have because you've gotten a daughter. But what I've learned growing up, my parents haven't shown me this, but I'm a guy. Things do influence you. Yes, as a kid, you get influenced by things. Cartoons, anime, these things influence you, especially anime. Now, Neil's the type of guy that looks at anime and says, that's misogynistic. No, motherfucker. That's a culture that doesn't give a fuck about your misogyny. Because I dare anybody to tell Japan, you can't do that. Nope, they're just going to draw bigger boobs on a character and not give a fuck. Have you seen Iken? Because that shit is crazy. Go watch Egan. It's just like about like 2 or 3 episodes. It's just wild. Seriously, it's wild. Like it makes porn look like makes no sense. But it's hilariously fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. There is nothing in the world I love more than gaming. When you're this type of game director, artist, all that shit, and you've been in the industry for a long time, I feel you, bro. You have people backing you that say they love this. But you yourself have said, fans will not like this. Fans will judge this. Fans will battle this. So if you know, why not make the executive decision to pull back, change it, and add to a different version? Because you know fans are going to say, fuck this, we don't want it. Simple as that. The one thing about female characters, they're always going to be strong and powerful. But if you make a female character just look like a guy, they're going to be like, the game was incredible. What about the characters? Joel was fire. Like he had the best. Like he had an overarching story. What about Ellie? She was kind of annoying. Like she became kind of an ass. Like she thought she had like story beats, but just you stop shit out of her sometimes, and then she gets it. But yeah, Last of Us 2, I understood the dynamic of Joel and Ellie. Ellie tried to get Joel to respect her. Didn't work out well. He's older. He's hardened. He's created by this world. He's molded by this world. He's murdered kids younger and older than Ellie. So you can't tell me shit. Ellie in this world is somehow capable of surviving some big dude that she should have been killed by, but is saved by Joel almost from getting raped. So you kind of switch your narratives around. It's like one moment she's doing all this badass stuff, and another moment the same type of guy that she defeated, Joel had to save her from being totally molested. I'm just saying to you, bro. Gaming itself has a certain story. And you're taking your narrative and you're trying to throw it down the throats of people and say, accept it. I want you to accept it. Accept it. No. Last of Us 2 will come out. And I've said this already. I've said this multiple amount of times. The game will do well. It will do well. It won't do fantastic, amazing game of the year. No. That's Ghost of Tsushima. But Last of Us will do okay. It'll sell, 3 million units. Maybe not sure. In this pandemic right now, I kind of warn you all, save your money. Just saying, save your money. You know what I'm saying? Save your money. You may not want to. You may not have to, but just do that real quick. Just save your money. Save your money. You know what I'm saying? You might want to do that. But I see it like this. Gaming has an overarching story. It always has. Female characters, no matter sexy or played out or doing too much, are always characters you're going to be drawn to. Anime's done it forever, and you can't tell Japan nothing because they're going to look at you and say, oh, shut up, fool. But America, we try to create sexy and powerful characters, and people tell us we can't do that, that's too much. Oh my God, where are her organs? These are fictional characters. Fictional characters. You think your daughter is going to get influenced by fictional characters? That's your job as a parent to make sure it doesn't happen. But also her job to understand, okay, those characters were created by somebody who wanted to see their vision of a sexy character, a powerful character. So what's wrong with that? Nothing. It's not misogynistic. Your appearance on misogyny is crazy. There's been movies out there that all those frat boy movies, all those extra movies, all of those movies with the sexual stuff, those movies were misogynistic. All the movies were like super hardcore frat boys and like all the American Pie stuff, super misogynistic. Super misogyny right there. Is that a problem? No, because those movies explained a kid or kids or teens going through their youth having fun spreading their wild oats. Like, I'm dead waiting for American Pie reunion. Like, are you serious? There's never been a time like the present to experience the goodness of animation, cartoons, and gaming. Sexiness is out there. Everything is about sex except for sex. Sex is about power. That's number one. But you creating a game and telling us, hey, the character's not sexy, she's a kid. Yeah, we know that, motherfucker. We wanted to kind of play the game to understand what's the survival tactics, what's the zombie ideas, what's behind it. You can't stand there and say, I created a misogynistic game and I should know because it was very misogynistic because I read these 2 books that told me it was misogynistic. You dumb fuck. You created a game that wasn't thought out well. No matter how much you thought it out, it wasn't. It wasn't cultivated, it wasn't sculpted, it wasn't planned out, it wasn't stretched further. You thought as far as you could think, and it led you back to the same place. If the game doesn't sell that well, it doesn't sell that well. And who do you have to blame? Yourself. Last of Us 2 is what it is, the part 2 of the game. The next installment. I tell you now, and I tell everyone out there, and this message goes out to who sees this video, don't buy the game. Don't. Hey, wait for it to go on like mega hardcore like clearance, holiday season or something. Just don't buy it now. Don't buy it. Don't waste your money because you're gonna be upset when you see what I've seen, and you're gonna be pissed, and you're gonna be tight. I'm telling you this. You're gonna be mad. And you're gonna look at me and you're gonna be pissed. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm warning you. I have to warn you. It's my due diligence to warn you. Don't play Last of Us 2. Just don't. Don't. Because Neil Druckmann has to learn. He has to learn. If he don't learn, hey, MIG, hey, I don't know. That ain't my game. But I'm just saying. The man's ideas is kind of rank. I understand where he's coming from. I get it. But at the same time, the planning, the stages, the build-up, and the drop-off wasn't there. So you had other people tell you what your shit was. And you did not think about it. You didn't really stick onto your gut. And then you called your own shit misogynistic. I don't know who Anita Sarkeesian is, but I don't care for her. And every time I hear her name, I'm starting to care less for her. Plus, this chick don't know shit about video games. Half of the characters that were on her little pictures or in there, she didn't pay for those artists, by the way. Gundam said it. She didn't pay for those artists. She didn't pay for that art. And all those characters are Japanese. So this bitch is stupid. When I look into more of Anita Sarkeesian, I will probably trash her and just bash her all over the internet. And probably get hate for it. I don't care. Don't even know who you are. But if I look into you, I might, destroy you. It's just kind of what I'm doing now to Druckmann. So, Cuckman, understand this. You don't know what you're doing. You don't. And you're repeating the same story beats. You're repeating the same thing that you've done already. And it's going to end terribly. I hope someone told you, bro, don't do that. That's going to end badly. And everyone at Naughty Dog has fought with you, argued with you, and you've told people, hey, fans will love this. And fans are probably going to tell you, nah, bro, we don't like this because we've seen it. And you and Troy Baker coming out saying this, that, you got to play the game, da-da-da. No, I'm not spending $60 on a game. I'm not spending $200 on the game, especially in a pandemic where I can just go to food or my bills. You're bugging. You are bugging. And I hope this game does bad. I really do. To teach you a lesson, to next time, do better. Do way, way better. And if there's a part 3, I still won't get that. I don't even care. I'll watch people play it. Dead ass. I don't care. I don't. This is your boy Fat Man DD1. If you think, yo, Fat Man, you bugging, you doing too much, it's not that big of a deal, bro. Hey, man, chill. Neil Druckmann don't deserve this hate. Cuckman's an ass. Neil Cuckman is an ass. He's been cucked. He's like, I have had a daughter, and I'm thinking, bro, I get it. You had a kid, and you're thinking differently about what you've put out there and what you're trying to see get put out there. But at the same time, what happens when your daughter grows older and she turns 18 or she turns 16, 17, 15, and she starts getting into things that you have no control over? It happens. No matter how much you become a parent, you can't control your kid. You can't. So be warned that when she gets older, she won't conform to your ideas. She'll make up her own ideas, see the world through her own eyes, and then she'll see what's good for her as a woman and what's bad for her as a woman, and then that will be there for her. But if you shield her and tell her what's this and tell her what's that, she's gonna reject you when she gets older, and it happens all the time. This is what I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? But I'm your boy Fat Man. Tell me what you think. Hey, am I going overboard? Am I too much? Do you think Neil did create misogynistic, sexist games? What do you think? Let it be known in the comments below. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified. I'm your boy. It's getting crazy out here. It's Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you've been enjoying yourselves. I hope you've been enjoying these videos. I'm sorry for the longer format. I am. But thank you for joining. So remember to never give up, never surrender, and keep on grinding. In this bad time, remember to wash your hands. Stay away from grandma and grandpa. Reach out to those who need it. Make sure your mental health is fine. Make sure to meditate, jog, run, take deep breaths, and do yourself a favor and social distance and wear that face mask. So from me to you, peace, and I'm out. Ooh, what a moron.
Shit.
Getting on drum.
This is the last one.
You little niggas gonna stop acting like my shit ain't the grill.
This is the last
Some of you
one.
niggas get your front teeth for grills. And I ain't talking about the contract.
Ain't loving these fake hoes. Room smelling like 8 switches. Room service like 2K. NBA, I'm ballin', nigga. All them niggas falling like all them niggas. Talking shit, I saw them niggas. Now they daughter want a picture. Rough, ain't it? Fuck famous.
Yeah, man.
Niggas too real, got the most haters. Wrote a story so Stephen Curry. How it feel to be golden.